Yelbrigo Namaskara everyone. It's a huge honor for me to be over here. Thank you to the Leela Hotels, simply because, I mean, you all have always partnered with me in whatever I've done and also, constantly support me and support my career. Very, very grateful to you and grateful to your legacy of sustainability and of positive social impact that you're creating across India. Now, last year, so I'm going to speak a little bit about what we're doing over here today. So last year, I had created a version of the national anthem, which was where I conducted a 100-piece British Symphony Orchestra performing our Indian national anthem. This was done at Abbey Road Studios in London. This version of the national anthem was very successful. In fact, it got millions and millions of views on the first day itself. Our Honorable Prime Minister of India tweeted it, lots of ministers tweeted it, and lots of billionaires tweeted it. So it went completely viral, I must say. But and I thought that, and I've done many versions of the national anthem prior to that. And the national anthem is something that I constantly keep going to create newer and different, renditions of it. But then after I finished that symphony orchestra version last year, I thought that that would be the penultimate version, and I'm not going to do anything bigger than that, and I'm not going to be able to do anything better than that. But then after I lived with that rendition of the national anthem for a couple of months, I realized that what was the reason that I did that particular version of the national anthem with the symphony orchestra. I think for those of you who were here last year, I'd explained it to you that a symphony orchestra, and I've conducted and I've worked with symphony orchestras all over the world. For me, a symphony orchestra philosophically is very similar to what India stands for, and I'll explain to you why. A symphony orchestra has got various instruments. Like, for example, you've got a violin, which is a soft instrument. You've got a timpani, which is a loud instrument. You've got a harp, which is a soft instrument. You've got a trombone, which is a loud instrument. You've got marimbas, which are percussion instruments. Now, all these different instruments, they've got their own unique identities. They've got their unique sound. They've got their unique philosophy. All these instruments. Now, a violin is not trying to be a timpani is not trying to be a harp is not trying to be a bassoon. All of them are maintaining their own unique identity, but at the same time, when all of them play together, they play together beautifully and harmoniously as one. And that's what a mighty orchestra sounds, beautifully, harmoniously one. And that is exactly what India is. People with different cultures, different identities, different religions, different political ideologies, different skin colors, but everybody come together beautifully as one country, harmoniously, and that's how India works. So whenever I would conduct a symphony orchestra, whenever I'd work with a symphony orchestra, I'd always see this, and that's the reason why I wanted to record the Indian national anthem with a 100-piece symphony orchestra. Now, after doing that, and as I said, after releasing it, the rendition became quite successful. And then after living with it for a couple of months, I felt that, okay, now philosophically I've gotten India, through that particular rendition. And now what I need to do is that I need to sonically get India. Now, how do I sonically get India? By getting the best possible traditional classical musicians to perform the Indian national anthem. So then I got in touch with all of these amazing, because I realized that the only way for this to work is that these musicians have to be the absolute best and absolute top of the game, and my favorite personally. So these were the musicians that we got together. We got Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, absolute legend, one of the greatest musicians to ever walk on our planet. We got Rakesh Chaurasia, fresh off winning 2 Grammy Awards this year. Rahul Sharma, the Santoor Maestro, Amaan and Ayaan. Then we've got Giridhar Udupa from Bangalore, the very, very virtuoso Ghatam player, and you'll be amazed by what he did on the national anthem. Then Sheik Mahaboob and Kaleeshabi Mahaboob, who are Padma Shri winners, a husband and wife duo who are pretty much the flag bearers when it comes to the Nadaswara instrument. Then Jayanthi Kumaresh, also from Bangalore. Jayanthi Kumaresh, Veena player, brilliant, absolute virtuoso Veena player. And of course, we've got the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Now the icing on the cake, on basically the best part about all of this was that there is this institute in India, it's known as the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. Now the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, I had heard about this institute from various people. I'm a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, and through the United Nations everywhere in the world, I constantly kept hearing about this university, that I should go and visit this university, it's amazing, it's very inspiring. So I went to Bhubaneswar and I visited the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. And I realized that this is an institute which clothes, feeds, boards, educates, completely free of cost at any given point of time. They do all of this for 40,000 tribal students from underprivileged communities. So imagine free education, free boarding, free lodging, free food for 40,000 kids. They're taking care of them completely, all the way from kindergarten to doctorate degree. So that is how they take care of them. And I went over there and I was shocked to see the scale at which they work. When it comes to their morning assemblies, to because there's so many kids, right? From the morning assemblies to how they are fed every single day, their meals, to how they are taken care of, and their physical training activities, their regular educational activities. It's just amazingly, overwhelmingly great. And I started associating myself with the university. They also gave me an honorary doctorate degree about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And been doing a lot of work with them. And then that is when their founder, Dr. Achyta, who was quite an inspiring person, in fact, inspired me a lot. So Dr. Achyta, I just told him that, why don't I give a music lesson to all of your kids? Because music education is something that is very dear to me, and I'm going to digress a little bit over here. Now, just like how in school we study physics, we study maths, we study science, it's not that all of us are going to become professional scientists or professional physicists or professional mathematicians, but we need a basic knowledge in it. Now, when it comes to the arts, especially music, I believe that it's really important for kids to have a basic knowledge and a basic education in music, not because all of them have to become professional musicians, but because a few of them can become professional musicians, but the rest of them need to become music appreciators. Now, when you have a basic knowledge of music and a basic knowledge of the art, then what happens is that you end up appreciating art a lot more than a person who does not have the basic knowledge. And me, as a musician, I don't have to constantly think that I need to dumb down my music and make it very simple for everybody to listen to. If I know that there is an audience out there which is discerning and which has a basic music knowledge, then I will be encouraged as an artist to make better music, to make slightly more complex music and music that I'm proud of. And that will uplift the art form itself all over the world. So that is the reason why I spoke with Dr. Achyta and I told him that let me give them a music lesson. And we decided, all right, let's make it big. Let's do a music lesson for 14,000 students. So we brought together 14,000 students in the Kalinga Stadium. We brought them to the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences Stadium. We brought them in over there. And of course, it was unprecedented because this has never been done before. So we had to figure out how are we going to teach them. So we devised all of these plans of building a stage which is in the shape of a cross so that I could be as close to as many students as possible, because the students would be divided into 4 quadrants and it would be easier for us to do the lesson. We brought in over 200 microphones to record the students, so because we had to convert the entire stadium into a recording studio. So we brought in more than 200 microphones, brought in the best sound engineers that we could find. We brought in the best sound recording equipment possible, the most state-of-the-art sound recording equipment. And the folks from the Guinness World Records also came down because up until then, the Guinness record for the largest music lesson was held by a university in Tennessee in the United States of America. The record is 6,500 students and we pretty much were more than double them. So they gave us a Guinness record at the end of it, and the end of that the lesson rather culminated with us teaching the children the choir parts of the Indian National Anthem. So the children sang the choir parts of the Indian National Anthem in 4-part harmonies. Not just a chant, but they actually sang it very musically as a choir and to enrich this version of the Indian National Anthem.